It's been one of those mornings where I was really planning on just coming back home and climbing back in the bed to catch up on some sleep because we've had colds and viruses sweeping through our house. But today I just felt like I really needed to jump on and talk for a second. I feel like my brain suddenly is just dumping all these things that I want to say. And yeah, can't sleep when you're like that. Nor do I want to. So I just wanted to say for a second, I remember growing up and feeling like my heart was outsized for my body. I sat on the side porch with my mom. Maybe I was in middle school, probably more like high school. One night, I felt like a misfit. I didn't feel like anybody really understood me. And I said to her, I wish you could just get paid to love people. I say that because for much of my life, I've had this deep rooted passion to help people feel love and to feel good in their own skin and to feel valued and valuable. But I've never really known what to do with that. So feels like changing the subject, but it will all tie together. About 18 months ago, I took a lunch with a friend and mentor of mine. And he always asked thought-provoking questions that were really helpful for where I was in life, where I wanted to get to in business and as a wife, as a mother. But this one particular day, I was talking about leaving my job. I knew it was time. I knew it was the right thing for me. My husband was in full support. But because I didn't know what was next, I was just having a hard time pinning when I should actually do it. And he looked at me and he said, what's your biggest fear? Let's say you leave. What's your biggest fear in not having somewhere else to go or something to start right away? And I thought about it for a second, and the words that came out of my mouth were, I'm afraid I wouldn't have anything to show for it. I'm afraid that I wouldn't be proud of how I spent my time. And he looked back at me and said, well, are you proud of yourself now? And I instantly, it's like that uninvited gut punch that suddenly you have tears in your eyes and you're crying. You never thought you would be. And I just said, I don't know. So I wrestled with that question after I left that lunch for a long time. I'm talking weeks. I had a girls' weekend, I think the next week, and I sat at brunch with them one morning and just said, I'm not proud of myself and I can't figure this out. But what I can say is that single question and that strong emotion of sadness and confusion is what really started this whole journey to figure out what are those missing pieces that just keep me in this hamster wheel of an experience of life, of being happy and then looking and wanting more and then going after it and feeling like it's just not there. A lot of people would say, well, it's your faith and it's handing it over to God, right? A lot of people would say a lot of different things. There's all kinds of psychological resources and spiritual resources out there. But for me, the missing piece was realizing I didn't have a strong relationship with myself. And what I don't mean like smelling your farts and taking the selfies and thinking that you have it all figured out. I just mean, am I proud of me? Do I look back over my life and see the times that I've overcome, the ways that I've grown, the person that I am? Do I see myself the way my biggest fans around me, my parents, my husband, my children, my best friends, my coworkers, do I see the same me that they see? And I didn't. I definitely did not. And so I think it's just, that's what drives me for Woo. That for me, when I looked back, the first thing I did is go back to the card box sitting in my closet and reading all these sweet and beautiful and wonderful things people were saying about me and holding the space for confusion of, wow, yeah, I don't live my life as if these things are true about me. And I have faith. And I come from a loving family. I came from a lot of opportunity. But nobody really taught me how to love myself, or even actually gave me permission to love myself, or to show me what that really looks like. And so in that simple exercise of realizing the deficit in the connection to myself, I was able to choose that the words were true, choose to have faith that they could be true about me, to begin to hear the way I talked to myself and how different that was from the way other people talked to me, and begin to not even change that language to myself, but even catch it. I mean, sometimes we talk like shit to ourselves. We talk shit to ourselves and we don't even hear it. It's just second nature to us. And so I was able to start hearing those things and slowly over time start replacing a more soft and loving and encouraging and motivating and faith-filled dialogue to myself. And it's just changing. It's changing everything in my life. It's changing rapidly, even in my relationships with people, how I handle situations. And I still don't know what the future holds. And yes, I still have dreams that, I hope to achieve one day. But my husband looked at me the other night and he said, I don't know what you're doing, but it's really making a difference. And what I can tell you guys is what I'm doing that's different is I'm learning and continuing to be very purposeful in how I treat myself and how I talk to myself. And I'm keeping my mind open to positive things happening instead of trying to Sherlock Holmes and self-protect from every negative thing that could come up in every situation. I'm trying to keep my arms wide open. I mean, I literally sometimes just open my arms wide and take deep breaths and just imagine receiving all the positive energy, all of the blessings, all of the opportunity, and all of the love, instead of having all of those million little blockers that are telling me you can't do this, or this is what he or she really thinks about you, or you aren't blank. All of those things just stack up and clog the artery from just that flow of a true experience in life. So anyway, long way to say I'm done now. If you've never asked yourself the question, honestly, am I proud of myself? I would encourage you to do it, because it feels like a dark, long, scary hallway. But at the end of it, I truly believe that you will find a lightness and an experience of living in connection to yourself, in connection to others, and in connection to your Creator that you've never had before. So have the courage, ask the question. And for those of you that are already there, damn, where have you been all this time? I could have used you earlier, but I'm so happy that you're there. And yeah, I don't need sleep anymore.